Hi, this is Caesar, your
Hey,
host for the
Caesar.
Healthcare Mavericks show. Today I have Dr. David. He is an El Paso native. He's a physical therapist that helps people to stay active, mobile, healthy, while avoiding unnecessary surgery, injections, and medications, not only for El Paso, but I would say globally as well. Um, he is also the host for the podcast Stay Healthy El Paso. Dr. David, welcome to the Healthcare Maverick Show. Glad to have you.
Thanks for having me, Caesar. I appreciate it.
Now, Dr. David, can you give us a little bit about your background, why you became a physical therapist, and not only that, but why did you decide to stay here in El Paso?
Yeah, sure. So I went to school out of town, actually left El Paso for college just because I needed to get out and see something because I did grow up here and I was ready to explore the world a bit. I love exercise and fitness and I didn't actually like the medical field when I first started college because I didn't like blood and guts and anything that comes out of a human that is fluid or solid or anything like that. I just don't like it. So
Sure.
when I discovered that physical therapy was an option where you don't have to deal with that, I said, sign me up. That's cool because I don't really like the other options out there for majors in college. And so I was really good at it actually, and one thing led to another, and I ended up specializing in manual therapy, and then I was still out of town at that point when I ended up moving back to El Paso because of family. We have our kids, and we wanted them to grow up with grandmas and grandpas and the rest of the family here in town. We decided to open up a manual therapy practice here in El Paso, which is a specialty of physical therapy.
Nice. Now, when you started your practice, that was in 2014, 15?
2014, yep.
Now, from that time, you made a choice to jump into YouTube, right?
Mhm.
What made you take that plunge and start your own YouTube channel?
Yeah, so the main thing was when I was learning about how to get new patients for our practice, the first thing I did was look at how everybody else does it and other companies that I worked for and how they do it. And in the physical therapy world, by and large, everybody kind of sucks up to doctors, to physicians, to referral sources, as they call it. And that never sat well with me. I didn't like doing that. I'm not that type of person. I like to kind of do things on my own. And I know my specialty. I know that I'm pretty good at what I do, and I can teach it pretty well. So I just said I'm going to find another way. And in doing my own marketing research, I realized that there's this thing called digital marketing,
Mhm.
and it's heavy in video. And YouTube's one of the leaders in that. I think I heard somewhere that it's the second largest search engine only to Google, which
Right,
it's owned by Google anyway.
right.
So if you, what I figured out is if you rank pretty good on YouTube, then you'll probably rank pretty good on Google, and people will find you. And what I realized is if I can just educate my potential clients on what I do for them, what I could do for them, how I can help them, then that probably gives me the best shot at working with somebody, and bypassing getting a referral from a physician, waiting for the physician to decide to send me a patient because I took them the tastiest donuts or the tastiest lunch or the nicest baseball tickets or whatever it was that they do for the
Right.
offices. So I don't do any of that. I just talk directly to the patients about how we can help them through videos on YouTube and other places where we can put videos too.
So, how would you say YouTube has affected your practice from the time you opened to a few years ago to recently with all this COVID-19 and the pandemic, the recent pandemic?
Well, when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing. When I say that, I knew that I needed to make videos. I had kind of seen how other people have done it for other industries, not really physical therapy, and I started to do it in a way that I thought was right, and it's morphed tremendously since then. There's a whole process to shooting videos. It's a production for sure. You got to have a script prepared. There's all this stuff. So that's morphed over the years. I started doing videos probably in 2015 or 16 after I had already opened. I was relying on word of mouth
Mhm.
and just talking to people, word of mouth pretty much. And then when I met with I didn't even know that YouTube search engine optimization SEO was a thing. I just thought there was only one type of SEO, with Google or with all the big search engines. So once you helped me out, then our channel blew up big time. We had tons of subscribers, way more views. We hit 1 million views on one of the videos that we have, and the subscribership increases by anywhere from 500 to 700 new subscribers a month, and it is worldwide. We do get people asking us questions from all over the world. Canada's the next biggest country after the US. After Canada, it's India. And then we have people from outside of there too, Pakistan, Indonesia, England, other parts of Europe, France, all over the place. They send us messages. We actually get people that email us their MRI reports and their
Wow,
X-rays, and
that's
they want
crazy.
they want my opinion on it. Yeah, they download our free resources online, or I don't even know how they find my email address. I don't really put it out everywhere, but somehow I get an email, or my front office staff gets a call from out of the country, or they get an email or a message on our website chat as well. So we do what we can to help them, but it's very limited in that capacity. But since coronavirus hit, it really just put us in a position where, honestly, going into all the YouTube stuff, and we do a bunch of other digital marketing, I was kind of concerned because I was like, we're really heavy digital, and we're not marketing a whole lot of other ways. We're working on it, but we're not really good at it yet. We will eventually, but I was just like, what if Facebook shuts down my account with them, or YouTube shuts my account down, or Google, because we do Google ads and Facebook ads. We're gonna sink. It's not gonna be good. But when coronavirus hit, it was the best thing because
Right.
we were already on there. We were already heavy on YouTube, so we just cranked it up. We just made more videos. We're still making videos. We started doing the podcast. We put our podcasts as videos on YouTube as well, so that we've actually been getting a lot of comments and views on those
Nice.
podcast episodes on YouTube as well. So it's been super helpful. I think it's the main reason why we've been so busy. I didn't mention that, but we slowed down a little bit in April, and then once May picked up, this is after coronavirus hit. May was completely full, 100% full on our schedule, and so was June. And there was another spike in July, so we're in the first week of July still. It dipped a little bit, but we're still pretty full. So I think the YouTube stuff that we're doing has helped out tremendously, and it's just educating people, talking about what I
Right.
do.
Now, I want to ask you about the very first video you did. Do you remember that?
Oh gosh. Honestly, I don't. There's been so many. I remember some of the first videos that I did, but I've kind of intentionally left them behind. I don't want to
Right.
think about them too much, but I'll go there if you want me to.
So you did a
Uh-huh.
neck pain a video, and it was short. I think it was under 2 minutes, but how to prevent neck pain, how to correct your posture, how to tuck in your chin. So
Okay.
I just wanted to see if you remembered that, and what made you put out that first video.
Was that the
Um,
one where there's a woman on there?
yes. Uh-huh.
That was my wife. Yeah, I remember that video now.
Yes. So that was your first one in 2014.
Wow.
So, and I just wanted to ask what was going through your mind when you say, hey, you know what? Let me do this first video. Let me just take the plunge and let's go for it.
hmm Well, I had already been doing custom videos for patients because a lot of patients would ask me, hey, can you write down all these exercises that you're giving me, or can you write down some of this information that you give me? And I would, at the beginning, I would type it out on a document, and it would take me forever. And then I just realized it takes me like 2 minutes to shoot a video real quick and just say everything
Right.
that I was going to say on paper. So let me do that. So I think that I did that video as one that I was going to give to a client, but then I realized I should just slap this up on YouTube because I need to start putting it in on video in places. And let me make it generic. I'm not going to say, hey Phil, or hey Lupe, here's a video for you. I'm just going to say, hey everyone, let me tell you about neck posture, and I put it up there, and then I just shared the YouTube link, the
Yeah.
URL over with the patient. And I realized I could just start doing that with all kinds of videos about health tips and exercises and advice that I would normally give for an individual patient.
Right.
And then I had a library there, so it's accessible for my staff to hand out to patients whenever they need it to.
Right. And I think that's a big key is just to share your knowledge, educate, and inform your clients and your patients. So
Mhm.
from going from 2014 to going over hundreds of videos on your channel
Mhm.
to over 1 million views, what advice would you give to another doctor, another physical therapist, a healthcare professional if they're thinking about making educational videos or jumping onto YouTube as well? What tips would you share with them?
There's a lot. Um,
Give us
I
your
guess
top three.
top three tips. Okay. First tip is just go, just start. Be okay with feeling like it sucked, because
Right.
you have to get used to the sound of your voice whenever you play it back.
Right.
Get used to just stuttering a lot and doing retakes and having to do it over again, and you're just like my first, I don't know, 50 videos or so, or I don't know how many. They were not as good as they're getting now, and I still feel like I can improve a lot. It's only going to get better. You just have to start and keep going and keep going and keep going. I always think of like great actors. You know, when you
Hmm.
see them in their first movie roles, like the other day, I think Samuel L. Jackson's a really good actor. You know, he's been in a lot of movies. A lot of people probably know who he is. But if you see some of his very first films, I was at a relative's house and I saw a film, and Samuel L. Jackson looked like he was 19. He was
Oh wow.
really young, and he wasn't even the main character in that movie. He was, he was actually playing uh, some bad guy. They were it looked like a restaurant or something, and he was trying to rob the place. And he did a decent job, but that it wasn't his best role ever compared to all the stuff he's done now. But I'm sure he's grown and developed as an actor over time, and it's kind of the same thing with all this marketing stuff, all this video marketing stuff. You just have to keep going, keep going, keep going, and then you get better at it. Second tip is definitely get better at the technical side of it. If that's not your thing, then get some help. Hire somebody like Cessa to help you out with it. Um, I'm blessed in that I've always been a techie person. I've liked fiddling around with computer programs and videos and video editing software and websites and all that stuff. And I'm not the best in the world. And I actually hired a person to help me out with it. And Cecil helped me out back in 2018 when I was just starting out with YouTube stuff. So you need help for sure. It's professional work. Um, and then the third tip I'd have to say, once you start, you cannot stop. You have to keep going. One video is not enough. We have different campaigns, and we're constantly redoing videos on them. And we're not redoing them in the sense that we're scrapping the last one. We're just adding on to it, fortifying it, optimizing things, making it better. It's a never-ending process, but the fruit is amazing because we get clients that come in that, brand new clients that we've never met before, and they say, I've been following you on YouTube for a year now. And
Wow.
I'm like, whoa. And I'll dig into it a bit, and they're like, yeah, every time I'm a subscriber, and every time you release a new video, I get notified and I watch it, and you're so helpful. We just had a lady that we interviewed. It's up on our YouTube channel now. I did a
Hmm.
Zoom interview, and she's in New Jersey, and she saw one of our most popular knee pain videos, and she was just so grateful that we put that information out there. And I put that video out years ago now. It takes that long for people to find it and think about it and do it. And then eventually, they'll work with you, and you have to have a process to get them to work with you eventually from there. Because once they see a video, if they're not in town with you, then how are you going to help them out and possibly even make some money from it? That's a whole other topic.
Right. And I think it's really important to point out that, like you said, that lady was following you for a year. Is
Yeah.
once a patient sees you on camera, they're gonna get to know you. They're gonna know your personality. So when they meet you in person or talk to you on the phone, it's like they already know you. They already
Yeah.
know your personality. So that's really good to hear, and for you to share that with us. I really do appreciate that.
Hmm.
But Dr. David, for more information on your practice, your services, how can people contact you? Aside from YouTube, how can people schedule to see you, or if they would like to have more information on getting treated for any shoulder pain, neck pain, or physical therapy
Hmm.
service?
Yeah, the easiest thing to do is to go to our website, epmanualphysicaltherapy.com. And there's tons of information there. There's helpful resources, a lot of free stuff. If you go to the blog tab at the top, you'll find tons of blogs about all kinds of different body aches and pains that we help out, and free resources on there. And if you're in the area in El Paso, then the phone number's on there, 915-503-1314. It's all over the website too. And you can just give us a call and start the conversation from there, and see if we can help you out. We always are honest with people too. We just want to make sure that we're the best fit for everybody. So if we can't help you out, then we're happy to say it's not something that we work with.
Mm.
You should go see these people instead, or this type of person, and they'll be better suited to help you out.
All right. Well, Dr. David, I know you're a busy guy. You have your own practice. You have a family. You have 3 kids, right?
3 kids and one on the way. Hmm.
Oh, wow, 4. Well, congratulations. I got 4 myself, and oh man, all I can
Fun
say is
times.
good luck. Uh, but I appreciate you taking the time to speak to us, and we'll talk soon again.
Okay, sounds good, Sessa. Thanks for having me on.
All right, thank you. Have a
Yep.
good one. Bye.
All right, you too.